Hi again. We're going to continue with the A minor scale in natural minor, and as a review, the natural minor is the relative minor of any major scale, and it's the 6th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C, the 6th degree. A is the 6th degree of the major scale, and so when you make A the tonic, or the root as we use with chords, but let that be the tonic. In other words, that's your starting point for the scale. If you begin, it uses all of the notes of the C major scale. That's where it gets the name of natural, because it doesn't alter the scale in any bit, in any way, of the C major scale. And so we want to practice this using the metronome, and again starting on A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And if you notice in the exercise, I'm going to show a closer view of my fingers here. And this is, I went in depth with this, with doing, illustrating the C major scale. And it's the same technique even with the A minor. And it's very important that you master this, because this technique will be used on so many different scales. So you want to master that. And that is the principle of using your first 3 fingers, thumb, pointer, or index and middle, and then your thumb goes underneath the 3rd finger. So I'll watch as I do this. A, B, C, thumb goes underneath to D, the hand switches over, and coming back, and then now the middle finger goes over the thumb. See? And it's very important that you master that, because once you master that, you will use that in any key. That whole technique is used over and over again. And so now with the left hand, you will begin on the A that is below middle C. So this is middle C, and you'll be starting on A with your pinky, your small finger, and we will go through it as thus. I'll put the metronome. Apologize about that. Ready, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Okay, and I just played through both of those twice, just to show you how it's done, how it should be played. Of course, when you're practicing it on your own, you will practice it more than 2 times, because to get the mastery of any technique that you're working on, musically or anything in life, for that matter, it will take repetition. And the more you practice it, and especially if you use a metronome timer, the more you become in depth, and that becomes a part of you. Because one of the things, as I mentioned before, is that the technique, see the thumb going over, sorry, not thumb going over, but the middle finger, then come back down, middle finger, thumb goes underneath. See that technique of a finger going over and then thumb going underneath, that technique is used repeatedly over so many different scales. And so if you take your time at this beginner stage and master that in C major, master that in A minor, then as you progress to other scales, G major, F major, and so forth, you will see that those techniques will be basically the same. There might be some variations on it, but it's basically once you master that, you will play so many different scales without any problem. So it's important you master that. Okay, wish you all the best in your musical studies.